Good morning and welcome to another day in Lent. Today is Friday and we're going to try out a new segment where I talk about the latest short video for the Coming Home Network. And this week, I have to tell you, I've been geeking out because I got to interview Peter Kreeft. Coming up. So last week I was traveling around the Boston area with my coworker Matt Swaim, and we had the amazing opportunity to interview someone who was a hero to both of us, Peter Kreeft. He has written so many books, and a number of his books helped me in my journey into the Catholic Church. I want to share a little clip of that interview right here.
The one thing I knew for sure was not whether I should be a Catholic or a Protestant, but I had to be a Christian. Christ was my Lord. I had to follow him wherever he led me. And if he led me out of my familiar and beloved little Protestant lifeboat into this big smelly thing called Noah's Ark, I had to follow, although I didn't want to. That was my absolute. So reading the New Testament with Protestant eyes and Catholic eyes, the Catholic eyes made a lot more sense of some of the passages. And to say you can just skip the whole history of the Church as if those 1500 years didn't exist and go from 1517 back to 33 AD is a little dishonest. Here is data. How could the Church have gotten almost everything wrong so soon and the Holy Spirit fell asleep for 1500 years? That didn't make much sense.
So if you want to see the entire video, you can click the link right up here. And I encourage you to check out the Coming Home Network YouTube channel. It's been something that I've been developing the past couple of years, and I'm continuing to develop and trying to find new ways to share stories of people that have become Catholic. And Peter Kreeft has such an amazing story. He is a convert himself. He is a professor of philosophy at Boston College. He is brilliant, and he has written a number of books. And I've mentioned a couple of his books on my videos before. One of my first books that I read when I was looking into the Catholic Church was Catholic Christianity. It's a collection of his essays where he looked at the catechism of the Catholic Church. And he wrote these essays to kind of explain parts of the catechism to someone who is not a Catholic, putting the language of the catechism into language that a Protestant could understand, language that he would have understood before he became Catholic. And another really interesting book that he wrote was called Between Heaven and Hell, based on the true fact that C.S. Lewis, Aldous Huxley, and John F. Kennedy all died within a few hours of each other. And so this book is looking at this kind of imaginary perspective of, what if the three of them met on the way to heaven? They were sitting around a table and talking about what they expected to come after that moment for the rest of eternity. C.S. Lewis came from the traditional Judeo-Christian viewpoint. Aldous Huxley came from the Eastern viewpoint, the Eastern philosophy viewpoint, and Kennedy came from the modern humanistic viewpoint. And just a really interesting kind of imaginative conversation that these three might have had, which I think is something that's really great about Kreeft. He is a Catholic, and yet he is one of the top C.S. Lewis scholars in the country. And what he writes about, it doesn't have to be always Catholic, what you would expect something to be very Catholic to be. But like Lewis, he writes about a lot of things that all Christians can look to, that all Christians can hold in common. And so I encourage you to find some Peter Kreeft books, to read them. As I said, he's brilliant. Check out the video and check out the Coming Home Network YouTube channel. I think it is such a blessing that God has allowed me to share so many great stories on YouTube for my job. And I'm glad that I can share my story now here. And I'm glad that you can share with me some of your story in the comments. And I have to say, I'm just so blessed from everything that's happened in the last month or so on my channel and in the last couple of years on the Coming Home Network channel, that, yeah, I think that's all I can say, that I've just been so blessed in being able to share all of these stories. And if you're not a Catholic and you have questions about the Catholic Church, I encourage you to leave them in the comments below. But I also encourage you to check out chnetwork.org, the Coming Home Network. There is a pastoral staff that would be happy to talk to you one-on-one. There's a community website with a forum for all members where there are lively discussions about faith, about the sacraments, about Mary, about lots and lots of topics. And there are people on all parts of the journey there. And so I encourage you to check out the Coming Home Network website, chnetwork.org. So remember, next week, Easter is coming up. If there's a convert in your life, or if you are a convert and you want to encourage their journey deeper into the Catholic Church, remember the Tiber River Swim Team shirt, 2000 to 2018. You can get any one of those years. If you know someone who has swum the Tiber, get them this t-shirt and show them that they're on the winning team. That is so dorky, I'm sorry. I just had to say it. And if you use the coupon code ThatNerdyCatholic, you will get 10% off your first order. So you can watch another video up here. If you like what I'm doing on this channel and you want to become part of this community, you can click that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like this video, and that little church bell to get a notification when I put up a new video. I'll see you again tomorrow, and God bless.